Hi, I'm Steve Zolas, Chief Executive Officer at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia, and I'm honored to welcome you back for another episode of our Art of Healthy Aging Summer Series. I'd like to thank AARP for sponsoring this episode. We hope you find today's program to be as fruitful and engaging as our first episode. Here to kick things off, once again, are Dr. Anthony Haley and the Mosaic Steel Orchestra. So sit back, enjoy the music, and get ready to have some fun. We've got a dynamic lineup for you today, jam-packed with information on brain health, Medicare benefits, and healthy movement. And speaking of jam-packed, we've also got our dietitian here to demonstrate easy recipes you can make with ingredients right from your own pantry. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you've got questions during the program, head over to our Facebook page and join the conversation in real time. Go to facebook.com/SSSEVA. Today, more than 5 million seniors in the United States are affected by Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. As a result, the need for older Americans to focus on brain health has never been greater. The good news is there are proactive steps that you can take to safeguard your memory, keep your brain healthy, and reduce your risk for developing dementia. These steps are part of what our next speaker calls the 6 pillars of brain health. In addition to her role as AARP Virginia's Associate State Director for Community Outreach, Felisa Johnson serves on the board of the Hampton Roads Community Health Center and has volunteered with numerous area organizations, including the American Red Cross. We're delighted to have her here today. So without further ado, Felisa, take it away.
Good news! Regardless of our age, we can reduce the chance of age-related diseases and optimize our chance of maintaining cognitive health. Today, we will discuss the 6 pillars of brain health. This session is intended to be informational and educational and does not constitute medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The first step, engage your brain. How can you engage your brain? Taking or teaching a class is an excellent way to engage your brain. Also, learning a new language, dance, or musical instrument is an excellent way to keep your brain active and engaged. The second step, be social. Stay engaged with family and friends and your community. Avoid isolation. Enjoy the companionship of a pet, and volunteering is an excellent way to stay engaged. The third step, ongoing exercise. Get at least 150 minutes of exercise each week. Physical activity helps repair and protect your brain chemicals. It increases circulation, reduces anxiety, and improves your sleep. Reduce the risks of diabetes, heart disease, depression, and stroke. Walking, dancing, running, swimming, training, yoga are all excellent ways to make sure that you have a consistent and fun exercise routine. The fourth step, eat right. Eat less meat and sweets. Fish and seafood are great food sources. Nuts, beans, grains, leafy vegetables, olive oil, kale, spinach, broccoli, whole berries, salmon, sardines, walnuts, and almonds are excellent for brain health. The fifth step, restorative sleep. Get enough sleep. Doctors recommend that you have between 7 and 8 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period. Make sure that you are practicing good sleep techniques. Maintain a regular sleep and wake schedule. Expose yourself to outdoor light during the day. When sleep is more easily interrupted, the body's internal clock shifts. Therefore, adjust your caffeine intake, keep pets that disturb sleep out of the bedroom, restrict fluids and food 3 hours before going to bed, and make sure that you keep smartphones, TVs, electronics out of the bedroom. The sixth step, manage stress. Make sure that you're exercising regularly, smile and laugh. Distract yourself with music and reading, seek out green spaces, confide in friends. Be silent and still. Take stretch breaks, limit screen time, and last but not least, take deep breaths. You may ask, why is brain health more important than ever? Well, it helps with life expectancy, rethinking retirement, helps with the skyrocketing cost of healthcare, and you can help with current brain research. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better.
And now we have a few questions about brain health for Felisa. What are some things I can do to improve my memory?
The one thing that I would recommend is that you find or seek out new opportunities to learn. Learning is a great opportunity to kind of keep your mind active and engaged. I myself am a lifelong learner, so I enjoy learning different languages, taking different classes. Even also, board games are an excellent way of making sure that you stay engaged and you making sure that your brain is active.
How can I stay socially engaged during this pandemic?
Whether you're having Zoom brunches with your friends or you're having virtual coffee hours with your family members, different things like that, it's an excellent way virtually to stay engaged and most importantly, to stay safe. So get out there and get in the virtual world and making sure that you're staying connected to family, friends, and those in your network.
If there is one thing you would like this audience to take away from this session, what would it be?
The one thing that I hope that the audience takes away from this session is to make sure that you are staying connected to those that you care about and that you love, as well as staying active. Physical activity is your friend. So making sure, even though you may be in the house, there are different things that you can do to stay physically active, walking up and down the stairs, taking online exercise and aerobic classes, just a wealth of different things to keep your mind and body engaged.
You've heard it time and again, exercise and physical activity are good for you. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 61% of adults aged 65 and older have a limited ability to perform basic actions, like picking something up off the floor or reaching to grab a cereal box from the pantry. When it comes to maintaining your independence and performing everyday tasks with ease, the type of movement you're doing matters. Crystal Bynum and Mary Noonan are the team behind all of our evidence-based physical activity programs here at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. As the evidence-based wellness supervisor, Crystal oversees all administrative and support activities with the programs. She is a master trainer certified through the Stanford Chronic Disease, Diabetes, and Chronic Pain Self-Management programs. Mary is our evidence-based wellness specialist and a licensed physical therapist assistant. Today, they're going to show us how to experience movement for a healthier, happier life. Crystal and Mary, the floor is all yours.
My name is Crystal Bynum. I'm an evidence-based wellness program supervisor at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. We all want to learn how to better manage our health conditions. Today, we're going to talk about physical activity and exercise for fitness and fun. An exercise program means that you set aside times and choose specific exercises to do. There are as many activity programs as there are people. A program can start with as little as 1 minute of activity per hour when you wake up, to 1 hour, 5 days a week. The important thing to remember is to start where you are right now and gradually increase your activity, working towards your goals. Next, Mary's going to lead us into some examples of exercises.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary. I'm the evidence-based program specialist at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. Today, Crystal and I are going to show you a quick exercise program that can help improve your strength, flexibility, and balance. This program can be done at home and needs no special equipment other than something stable to hold on to. Crystal is going to do the exercise program seated, and I'm going to do it in standing. We're going to begin by getting warmed up by doing some marching in place. Crystal is showing you how you can modify this activity to march while seated. This helps to raise your heart rate, getting your blood pumping, and your muscles and joints warmed up and ready for exercise. Well, I'm feeling warmed up. How about you, Crystal?
Absolutely.
The first exercise we're going to work on helps to get flexibility into your neck and improve your range of motion. It's really important that your neck be able to turn independent of your body for your balance. That way, when you're walking down the street, someone calls your name, you can turn your head, not your whole body, losing your balance and falling. So we begin by standing facing forward and turn your neck to the side. You should feel a gentle stretch on the right side of your neck. Then bring your head back to center. We're going to do that 5 times. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to stretch the muscles in the back of our neck. I'm going to turn to the side so you get a better view of this. What you want to do is you tuck your chin and look down at your chest. This gives you stretching in the back of your neck, and you're going to repeat that 5 times. Remember to do gentle stretching. You have some important blood vessels in your neck, and you don't want to overstretch and cause any harm. The next thing we're going to work on is the strength and flexibility in our ankles. Your ankle is the key joint for balance and fall prevention. So we always want to make sure that we have complete range of motion and strength. To do this, you want to make sure you have a good chair. You can hold on with both hands or with one, but you want to make sure that the chair doesn't move. While holding onto the chair, you want to raise up onto your toes, straight into the air. And we're going to do that 10 times. I'm going to turn to the side to give you a better view. Just straight up and down. Try to stay as straight as possible. The next one we're going to do is to work the muscle that picks up your toes in your legs. This one's super important. If you have weak muscles in the front of your leg, you're not able to pick your toes up off the ground to clear the ground when you take a step. What happens then is you go to take a step and you stumble forward. So this one works on that muscle in the front of the leg that helps pick up your toes. So again, hold on to something sturdy for balance and just lift the toes into the air. You keep your heels on the ground and toes up. A lot of times you'll see people do this one by going like this. But that doesn't really work the muscle. Just stay straight and lift the toes. And do that 10 times. This can also help the circulation in your lower legs. Our final exercise works on the large parts of muscles that help you to get up from a seated position. There's a couple of ways to do this, and the hardest way to do it is using no hands. I'm going to demonstrate no hands, and Crystal is going to demonstrate using hands. You want to scoot to the edge of the chair. Important that the chair is stable. And then rise up to a standing position and lower yourself down slowly. And we're going to do this 10 times. If this feels too hard or you feel unsteady, you can use one hand holding onto a chair or both. From one way of doing it to another as you get stronger. You might start with both hands on the chair for a few weeks, then move to one, and finally use no hands. Crystal, great job with those exercises.
Thank you, it was fun.
So that's our exercise program. You can do this program multiple times throughout the day or commit to doing it at least once a day. Stay strong, stay active,
And be well.
And now we have a question for Crystal and Mary about healthy movement. If there is one thing you would like this audience to take away from this session about healthy movement, what would it be?
I think the most important takeaway for me would be that something is always better than nothing. So if you're not feeling up to doing the full exercise program, just do a couple of exercises and that'll give you some benefit.
I think starting where you are right now, even if it's just taking a few steps within your home, is more than what you're doing already. So those are steps in the right direction.
I am now pleased to introduce our next speaker, one of my talented staff members, Bonnie Dozier. Bonnie is the team leader for Senior Services VICAP Medicare Benefits Counseling Program. Last year, Bonnie and her team responded to the needs of 2,587 Medicare benefits inquiries. Since the first of this year, they have been providing virtual consultations and assistance via Zoom and the telephone. I will let Bonnie tell you more.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Dozier, the Medicare Benefits Team Leader for Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. With Medicare, new challenges are always presenting themselves. After accepting this position, one of the first things I did was take a look at my mother's prescription drug plan. She was spending $10,000 a year on her medications. She didn't understand back in 2006 that she could change plans and not be penalized. She didn't understand that they had set a penalty if you didn't get a prescription drug plan. So at the time, she wasn't taking any medications and decided, no, I don't want to take, I'm not going to change and pay for something that I'm not doing. We did a comparison. I got her prescription drug plan. I got her a new prescription drug plan. Even though she had to pay the penalty of $30 extra a month, this still saved her $5,000 a year. So instead of spending $10,000 on her medications, she now had saved $5,000 and is spending $5,000 on her medications. We can help you with several different aspects of Medicare. We can direct you on how to sign up for Medicare. We can go over all your options. Did you know if you're still working and have insurance through your job or your spouse's job, you may not need to sign up for Medicare when you turn 65? We can also file appeals. Should Medicare decline a service and you feel this service should have been covered, we can help you file an appeal. We can screen for extra help, Medicare Savings Plan and Medicaid, and help you apply for assistance. If approved, you could receive assistance with premiums, copays, and deductibles. During Medicare open enrollment, October 15th through December 7th, we will help you review your prescription drug plan or Medicare Advantage plan to make sure you are getting the most cost-efficient and beneficial plan for your current needs.
And now we have a few questions about Medicare benefits for Bonnie. When do I need to sign up for Medicare and how?
You become eligible for Medicare when you're turning 65. You can sign up as early as 3 months prior to your 65th birthday. You have 7 months altogether, including the month of your birthday. You will need to do this by contacting Social Security, calling for an appointment, or applying on their website. If you are already receiving Social Security, you will automatically receive your Medicare card. You do not have to sign up for Social Security in order to get your Medicare. If you have been collecting Social Security disability for 24 months, your Medicare will automatically start on the 25th month.
Our next question for Bonnie is, what is Extra Help and how do I qualify?
Extra Help is a program through Social Security that can provide assistance paying for your prescriptions. Should you qualify, you could pay $3.60 for generics and $8.60 for brand name drugs, or lower in some cases, and possibly have a zero monthly premium depending on the cost of your current drug plan. We can help you apply online. The application only takes a few minutes, and you will find out in 4 to 5 weeks if you are approved. Just contact our office at 757-222-4524 to set up a phone appointment with one of our benefits counselors.
And finally for Bonnie, if there is one thing you would like this audience to take away from this session, what would it be?
I would like you to know that we're here to assist you and to go through all your Medicare needs, and to let you know that this is no cost and that we will be very patient with you and any questions that you have about your Medicare.
We're all spending a lot more time at home these days, and fewer trips to the grocery store can sometimes mean less nutrition and variety in our home-cooked meals. But even during a global pandemic, it's possible to make healthy choices using common ingredients from your own pantry. Kirsten Romero is our registered dietitian nutritionist here at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. As part of our wellness program, she assists seniors in reaching their health goals through livable diet that includes great tasting, healthy foods in moderation. Recently, she has shifted her in-person demonstrations to online videos in a new series called Cooking from My Pantry. And today, she's here to demonstrate that a healthy meal is just minutes away. Kirsten, take it away.
Hi, we're here in my kitchen today and we're cooking from my pantry. Today, I'm going to make no-bake peanut butter quinoa bars. It starts with some excellent ingredients that you should have ready in your pantry. So the first ingredient is 1 cup of oatmeal. Oatmeal is an amazing ingredient to keep on hand and to use as much as you can, eat as much as you can, because oatmeal is a great source of fiber. It's great for your heart health, it's filling, and it makes you feel great. You can use quick oats, or you can use just the regular oats. Don't use any with any flavoring or any of the little flavor packets. All right, the next ingredient is quinoa, also a good source of fiber, and it's a great source of protein. So I found these wonderful little boil-in-a-bag quinoa containers, and they're really easy. You can make them in the microwave, or you can make them on the stovetop. And I'm gonna measure out 1 cup of this as well. So it took about 15 minutes to boil, and now it's ready to go. I cooled it just a little bit, so I'm not gonna burn myself while I'm doing this. I'm gonna put in 1 cup of the quinoa, and then we're gonna pour this into the bowl. And this is all gonna be done in 1 bowl, simple as can be. The next ingredient is non-fat dry milk powder. Now, I didn't mention, but all of these ingredients are easy to find either at your dollar store or at your big box stores, and you can just buy the name brand. You don't have to buy fancy brands. So I bought a store brand non-fat dry milk powder, and this is 1/2 cup already measured out. And this will increase the protein that's in this recipe. So you've got the protein from the quinoa, and now you've got the protein coming from the non-fat dry milk powder. I wouldn't substitute the liquid milk for this because that would make these way too wet and gummy. But if you didn't have the dry milk powder, you could substitute a rice cereal, like a crispy rice cereal, or you could substitute a little bit more oats. And I would just put in the 1/2 cup so you have another dry ingredient and you don't have your bars too mushy. All right, next is some peanut butter. And we've got a 1/2 cup of peanut butter here, already measured out, and we're gonna put this in the bowl. And of course, peanut butter's a sticky mess, but I'm gonna try to get it all in here with my spatula. Okay. And we've only used 1 bowl. It's really easy. And the last ingredient is honey. You could also use maple syrup if you wanted to. So this is a 1/4 cup of honey. And that will sweeten it up just a little bit. Okay, so we have this wonderful protein from the peanut butter and from my quinoa, my non-fat dry milk powder. And this is gonna make a delicious snack. And it's also something that you could do if you're not really feeling like eating a big breakfast or making a breakfast. It's simple, you don't even have to bake it, and you're gonna love what goes on top of this. People have said that this tastes like peanut butter cup because it has the last ingredient of chocolate on top. Delicious. Okay. Now, if you were to taste this right now, it already tastes spectacular. But wait until we're done. All right. So I have a pan here. This is an 8x8 pan, and I lined it with parchment paper. You could also use wax paper. If you didn't have either, you can still make these. This is so that I can lift them out to cut them, and it makes it so much easier. I don't want you to think, oh, I don't have any wax paper on hand. I didn't put that in my grocery order. It's okay. You can still make these, and you can just make them right in the pan. They are not gonna stick. It's just gonna be so much easier to lift them out to do my cutting so that I can show you how delicious they turned out. Oop, biting my paper here. Okay. All right. Get this out of the way. I'm just pressing it into the pan. Just making sure that it's evenly pressed in. This is a really fun one. We're gonna be melting chocolate. Okay. And if you have a microwave handy, that is the easiest way to melt chocolate. I know you could do a double boiler. If you want to go that route, that is totally fine. And if you don't have a microwave, that's going to be the best way so you don't scorch the chocolate. Trust me, if you have a microwave, easiest way to do it is to put it into a microwave-safe dish and put it in the microwave to melt it. So I have 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. In a lot of my presentations in the past, I've talked about how healthy chocolate is, and it really is. It has great antioxidants in it. So the darker the chocolate, the better. Okay, so this is dark chocolate chips. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna stir it, and I'm gonna do it again. All right. While that's happening, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about quinoa. You've probably heard of it. It is a new super grain, and it is considered a whole grain, but it's actually not a grain at all. It's actually a seed. It comes originally from South America, and it's so wonderful for you because it's loaded with fiber, it's loaded with protein, it's a great source of plant protein, and then it's also loaded with antioxidants like vitamin E. I'm gonna take this out and just give it a stir because I wanna make sure that it's evenly melting. The other great thing about quinoa is that it can be used in so many different recipes. It's a wonderful substitute for rice as a side dish. I made a salad where I put it in, and it was kind of like what you would when you were making a pasta salad. The quinoa just took the place of the pasta. And it can also be used as a breakfast cereal, similar to oatmeal. So you can heat it up and you can add maybe some sweet ingredients to it, like some fruit, maybe a little bit of honey, some nuts. So there are lots of good things you can do with quinoa. And who knew you could make a delicious protein bar out of quinoa? So I think you're gonna really like this a lot. All right, looks like the chocolate's coming along. And there is a possibility it will take 3 tries in the microwave. Nope, this one's ready. Okay, so you know it's ready when most of it's melted. And then as you stir it, you are actually distributing the heat and melting it just by stirring it, melting those last few chunks that are kind of stubborn. This is 3/4 cup, and now that it's all melted, just pour it on top of these bars to make yourself a delicious, high protein, similar to a peanut butter cup, healthy, nutritious bar. All right, and then I have this little spreader that I like. It works really well for frosting too, so I'm just gonna spread it all over the top of this. You can either take these and put them in your refrigerator for several hours until they're firm, or you can put them in the freezer. I usually put mine in the freezer because, then it is a lot faster, and that's what we're gonna go do right now so that we can taste these delicious bars. Okay, we're back now. So the trick is, if you want to cut these and not have them crack, you either take them out of the freezer or the refrigerator for about 30 minutes prior to cutting them. Otherwise, you'll have cracking of your chocolate. So hopefully I waited long enough and these are not gonna crack on us. This is supposed to make 12 bars, so I have a square here. I'm gonna estimate about 1/3 here for my first cut, and then another 1/3 here. And I'm gonna make 12 bars. So now, I'm gonna try one of these and see how they turned out. Okay. It's really good. No one would believe that these are nutritious. So try that out at home, see what you think. You really can't mess it up, and you can interchange some ingredients. And the last thing I want to leave you with is when you use a nut butter, it doesn't have to be peanut butter, it can be almond butter, it can be sunflower butter if you have allergies. You can interchange the nut butter. Try these out and see what you think at home. Thank you so much.
Thank you to those who contributed your questions and concerns ahead of time. And now, I have a few questions about cooking from my pantry for Kirsten. Our first question is protein especially important for seniors, and why?
Protein is actually a very important nutrient for seniors. A couple different reasons. One is that a lot of seniors don't get enough protein because it costs a lot of money. If you're on a fixed income, it's hard to fit those foods into your budget. Another reason is that if we think about your typical protein source, it might be hard to choose. So if you have any dental problems, you might not be getting enough protein because you have a hard time eating meat. Next, a lot of seniors don't have great appetites. So a lot of times we do find that they are lacking in the protein that they should be getting. And as we age, we actually lose some muscle mass. So the protein that we eat actually helps us to maintain our muscle mass. It really is important to try to get protein throughout the day, especially in your senior years. A little bit of protein at breakfast, a little bit at lunch, and a little bit at dinner. And it's also a great way to help you feel more full when you're eating a snack, which is why these bars are so excellent, because they've got great protein in them, and they will help to make you feel a little bit more satisfied when you're eating a snack.
If there is one thing you would like this audience to take away from this session, what would it be?
I think that our seniors need to remember that you can eat delicious and nutritious foods right from your pantry. You can take these ingredients like we did today and make something without even having to bake it. And there are so many other things that you can make if you have a well-stocked pantry, and you can have a nutritious and delicious meal on the table or snack on the table really quickly and easily. The recipe will be available on this program, and then after this program airs, it will also be available on our website. That's www.ssseva.org.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this session as much as we have. You can ask further questions of the speakers right after this episode on our Facebook page at facebook.com/SSSEVA. We deeply appreciate the support of our episode sponsor, AARP. For more information about the programs and services offered by AARP, visit aarp.org. That's aarp.org. We hope you'll join us next time for our third and final episode. We've got an equally exciting lineup for you to enjoy. If you have any comments about today's segments or the information provided, please share them with us on Facebook, Twitter, or at our website at ssseva.org/summer series. Thanks again for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia has been responding to the needs of the Southampton Roads and Western Tidewater senior community. We're delivering 3,000 meals per week to high-risk seniors. That means over 30,000 meals from the start of this pandemic. Our long-term care staff has assisted over 600 individuals with no-contact deliveries of toiletries, paper goods, and other essential items, allowing high-risk seniors to follow the governor's stay-at-home order and reducing their chances of contracting COVID-19. To help reduce the risk of senior isolation, our staff and volunteers have regularly been making comfort calls and delivering at-home activity packets to over 1,000 seniors. Our resource specialists have taken calls from hundreds of individuals needing health and wellness counseling to remain safe at home. Our counselors have assisted clients with signing up for benefits if they became eligible due to a job loss, or changing benefits to better fit their needs during the pandemic. Our senior companion volunteers continue to engage with their homebound clients via telephone in place of in-person visits. Our dietitian is providing healthy cooking demonstrations online using common food items from your pantry. And finally, we're planning virtual opportunities such as exercise and wellness classes, and of course, our Art of Healthy Aging summer series, all designed to keep you, our senior community, healthy, active, and engaged. Please check our website frequently for our latest virtual offerings.